she was on some things trying to get her points up. I think I did that.
Okay, we're getting ready to go live.
Going live, yeah. Shit, what you can sing.
Well, you cannot sing.
You're like messed up.
We're live.
You're listening to the new WCEG network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. I'm Wardell Richardson, your host for the next hour on WCEG, on WcegWood The Hollywood of the South. We're your worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at WCEG_talk_radio. That's WCEG_talk_radio. And at WCEG Network. That's WCEG Network. Last but not least, the topics and opinion are those of the show hosts and guests and not those of WCEG Network. Thank you for your continued support. Once again, I'm Wardell Richardson, your host here for the next hour on WCEGWood Hollywood of the South. I'm very excited about my show today. I got a chance to watch one of the hottest movies over the weekend. It was dope. I was like, okay, and they straight out of Dallas. So before I get into them, I just want to give a few updates. People, wear your face masks. How many times we got to say this? The United States as a whole is one of the highest rating cases going on right now. So please wear your mask. It's real simple. Just put it on, take it off. Put it on, take it off. Plain and simple. If you're around a lot of people, put it on. If you're by yourself, you can take it off. It's plain and simple. Please wear your mask. The rise is still going on. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. It's still going on, people. So please wear your face mask. If that's a problem, brothers, I'm gonna just give you a little hint. If your teeth kind of messed up or something, put the mask on, bro. They won't know a thing. I'm telling you straight up, they won't know nothing. I'm just saying, you don't have to listen to me, but it's plain and simple. Just put face masks on, man, and that protects you and the other people around you. Some people have it, don't know they have it, so just protect yourself. Secondly, we have a few. I have a few movies that's out on Amazon. GPS, a horror film. Addition by Subtraction, a psychological film. Greed, an action film. Flesh, an action film based around human trafficking. The 30-Day Rule, which is a romantic comedy. And soon, the hit movie, The Last Time, which has been going all over the country right now, starring myself and Reese Odom, a domestic violence film. It will be on video real soon, more than likely on Amazon Prime. So please check that out as soon as you can. And I just got news that a movie that I directed called The Killing Secret is out now on Amazon. I'm not in it, but I directed it. It's dope. It's been getting awards over in LA. They're doing it over here in Atlanta. So please check that out as well. On that note, I am going to get back to my guest here. So shout out to Candace Renee who hooked this all up. She is a good friend of mine and she's doing her thing out there in Dallas. So I got a chance to watch a movie called Love and Drugs. And man, when I tell you, I am a connoisseur of independent films. And I love great quality. I love great acting, lighting. All of that is a major part. I talk about this all the time on this show because this show is based around our actors, the entertainment industry, from film to TV, theater, whatever it is, you can come right here and we'll put you on blast right here on my show. So I got to see this movie. It was a dope movie. My man, I'm introducing him, man, because he got in, you know what I'm saying? And y'all gonna see why when you see the movie. Santosha did her thing. So first, I'm gonna introduce to you Santosha, Nicole, who I got a chance to meet here in Atlanta not too long ago. How are you, Santosha?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am wonderful. So I'm sitting here looking through your resume and you got a lot of things going on. Award-winning actress, fierce model, You didn't say just model. You said fierce model. so I want to highlight that because most people just say I model. You said fierce model. So I want you to explain that. What do you mean by?
You know, everything I do, I just try to be fierce with it. But this was so long ago when I was modeling.
Right.
I thought that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
But I kind of fell in love with this acting thing. So I let that go.
So give a little history about it. How did you get started in acting?
I've been acting since 2007.
Right.
And I just kind of fell into it. I just was like, I'm not an actress. I can't do this. You know, we always say what we can't do.
Right.
And then doing it and find out that you're good at it. But in 2007, a lot of my background is like stage production, theater. And so that's what I started out doing. A close friend of mine was asking me to come on over to this stage production because one of the actresses had double booked herself. And so she was not going to be able to do one of the shows. Right. So I think they were trying to pull me in to do like a matinee show or something like that. And I ended up coming in. I was very nervous. I ignored their call for like a week and a half. I would not call them back because I was like, what? So anyway, I did, and the rest was history. I ended up doing both of the shows. Like
so
they fired a
little spot there. That's the thing.
I took a spot. I wasn't even trying to. She was so sweet. She took me under her wing and just like, because I was a nervous wreck, but they ended up liking what I had to give. So the rest is history.
Wow. And so and that was a stage play?
That was a stage play.
All right. So between TV and stage play, what's your favorite one?
I love film. You know, with stage production, it just takes a lot of time.
Right.
Got to do the rehearsals and you know, all the backstage stuff and all that. And film, you get in there and you get into the moment and you just give it what you got and it's over. Okay. So I like film.
I feel that. And I saw also that you're a well-respected dancer.
Oh my God.
Put it out there then.
Hey.
Put all my business out there.
Put it out there.
I do my research.
Yeah, you did do your research. So, have you heard of swing out or West Coast swing?
Right.
You've heard of that? It's like stepping, but it's a little different.
There's so many forms.
So many forms. Yes. Right. But I was a part of a dance team, a West Coast dance team called Raw Syncopation.
Okay.
And it was so fun. I used to swing out all during the week. Would go to work tired as hell the next day. But I loved it. And so we did well in our dance team. So
you don't do that no more?
I have not been out in a long time.
Okay.
Actually, my kids found this out about me and they laughed so hard. I was a lot younger. And I opened up at a concert for 112 and I can't remember the other artists, but I was a background dancer.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong.
They were like, Mom, who are you? You used to be a background dancer? So I really think that I've just been entertaining like all my life, like on acting. Yeah. Right.
And then you got to taste the film and you felt like that was where you wanted to be. That was the thing.
This is the thing.
Okay. Yeah. And that's how I felt. So I feel you. I get exactly where you're coming from. Mr. Cory Espie.
Yo, what up, man?
Yo, man. You the man. If I was right there next to you, I'd give you a dap, bro. You the man. So, man, you have a extensive resume. Actor, comedian, motivational speaker, writer, director, filmmaker. What don't you do? That's the question.
Yeah, whatever I don't do, I'm trying to work on it now. As you can see, man, like this even set up. I just recently opened my own production company. So now I take that lane in my hand to whatever I want to create. I could just do it myself.
All right, so give us a little background about you, how you got started in this industry.
Well, strangest thing is, man, the guy that actually that wrote and executive produced Love and Drugs is actually the guy that's responsible for me being here. We're from Tyler, Texas originally, and he was doing plays. And I remember there was a show called Prodigal Son that he wanted to do, and a lot of people knew me from just being a class clown. So he was trying to show like a comedian to do that part. And I mean, his mom had thought about me, and so they reached out to do it. The unfortunate thing is when the show ran, they cut that scene out for the next show. So my 15 minutes of fame was over. But, back then, before they started doing like the blocking and rehearsals, they were just doing whole rehearsal. So I would sit there because I only had 15 minutes in the show, and I would learn everybody part. So the lead guy ended up dropping out of the show, and they called me like the week before the show came out, like, yo, you think you can do that? And I came in, I had no script, and I walked in, and I done the whole show with no script and remembered every line from every part. And they were like, what? So they ended up bringing me back 3 shows, and he created this comedy character. And after that, man, we just never stopped.
It's straight. You took the guy's spot too.
Yeah. Well, the guy ran out of his spot, and that's how I got my spot.
No.
You know what I mean?
Took that man's spot.
No. Yeah, quit. And that's how I got in.
Not a running thing out there in Dallas. Y'all just be taking a word.
Yeah, because I didn't know nothing about it, man. I just wanted comedy. That was it. So that thing was a change for me.
All right, and how did the comedy come into it?
Well, the thing was because he had, in the midst of us doing this, he had created this character called Uncle Charles, who had become kind of the balance of his shows, and he was kind of Mr. Brown and different things like that of the shows, and so it became really hot. So there was a writer here in the Dallas area that was doing some really big shows in Fort Worth. So she came down, and Miss Evelyn Reed, and pulled me up and came and put me in one of her big shows. And from that, I end up actually running into the next show with her. And we never ever interacted with one another because we weren't ever in the scenes. But I got pulled in by Laterrence Whitfield to come do a show where I played a gangster in that, where I think she was like a lawyer,
an attorney.
But because our scenes never crossed, we never had any conversations. That's actually the first place we ever met, and that was one of the first shows we over. But because everything was I didn't want to get stereotyped because it was hard to find comedy roles and shows. So because of my size, I went to trying to get dramatic pieces. And so I started getting kind of this typecast as this gangster or an abusive man. So I started getting a lot of roles, man. So that's kind of how that thing happened for me.
And I know that feeling because I'm almost 6'5", so I get you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Got to find somewhere to place you with your size and everything. And what's happening is I think the evolution of the way Black people are in film now is definitely changing. Would y'all agree with that?
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. So Santosha, I'm gonna ask you first. In this industry, what's been the most challenging part of it for you?
That's a good question. Really, I hate auditioning. I just if you like me, I want you to just pick me. I hate auditioning. Sex scenes are little,
Oh my God.
Yeah, that kind of.
Why you say that? Say that, Cory.
Oh, well, that's a whole story to go behind that. If anybody,
we're gonna get on you in a minute. Go ahead, Santosha.
I'm trying to think of what else. Nothing. I mean, that I would say those 2 things.
Okay. And so, and then that being a challenge, so you say sex scenes is a challenge for you. Why?
I mean, because I'm naturally a shy person, and I am so shy, and so to try to and I talk a lot of noise. I'm just goofy, and you would think that I'm a bully because I like to just talk noise and be silly. And put your finger down. He didn't ask you nothing. And so then to have to go into try to be sensual and sexy, and then you want to sell the sex scene, but you don't want to show your business and
Just, the truth, brother.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do.
It makes my head hurt.
No, I can be honest with the people, the public. The issue was she didn't want to embrace her femininity. She thought, yes, she thought being sexy was weak. You know what I mean? Because before we ever did Love and Drugs, her and I were on the road doing a show called "If You Can't Marry Who You Want to Marry, Marry Who You Love to Marry Who You With," right? Where she was my love interest, and that's where we first developed our major stage chemistry together.
Right.
And there was a part where she had to be sexy, and she looked at me and the director and go, "I'm not doing that. I ain't no punk." You know what I'm saying? And she really went out like mad because we were asking her to be sexy. And so the struggle that she came with once she started embracing it was now people accepting that and not looking at her beyond the physical and trying to see her abilities. You know what I mean? Because that's what, when this movie came out, that's what she struggled with the most. Are people going to not look at my talent and just see this physical moment and just overlook everything I've done as far as hard work? So that was her struggle.
Yeah.
Well, he called you out, Santosha, since you was holding on.
Yeah. I was really silly when I first started. That was just hard for me. You're
a funny person in general. You had me dying when you were here. Every time I talk to Candy, I'm just like, man, that girl was hilarious. You just funny as all. You stand out because you just have that humor about yourself. So I get what you're saying, to have to transform into something else and be another face.
I'm like, why? I don't want to do that. But yeah, that's what they want me to do. So.
Well, I mean, you got that look, so they're gonna ask you for sure. But what is the problem with doing auditions? Like, what is it about auditions that bother you?
I just get really nervous. Just like I feel like I do worse in auditions. To be honest, I hate interviewing. It's just things, all of those type things I hate. I hate auditioning. I hate interviews.
You just want to act and go sit down.
I just want to do my thing and then let me go home.
Okay, Cory, we're gonna go to you since she hates being. Go
ahead. That was complete honesty.
That was complete
honesty. She says that in the dark. You know what I'm saying? With no cameras, no lights. I just want to do this movie. I want to do this show, and I'm going home afterwards. That's it. I'm gonna go pick my baby up, and we're gonna have mommy time. That's it.
So, what about you, Cory? What's been your biggest challenge in the industry?
Mine would be, man, sometimes shutting up. I'm such a passionate person sometimes, and sometimes I had to realize, and her and I have a conversation, because when you are partners with people or when you represent something, sometimes what you may be really passionate about may come off to others, and it may turn that away from others that didn't sign up for your passion. You know what I'm saying? Because there are certain things and things I want outside of this business when it comes to what I stand for. And recently we went through a situation where this person reached out and said, I'm no longer supporting you because of your stance on this particular issue.
Right.
And, I vented to her about it, and she was like, well, bro, listen, I just want to act and go home. I didn't ask to do what I do. And after the, when you first get something, you like, you don't understand nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I thought about it. It is right. You know what I'm saying? Even like, what we have in our partnership, she may have signed up for that thing. So I have to be mindful of what platforms I decide to fight these issues on. And that's one of the things I've struggled with in business, because I'm a very vocal person. And sometimes when things affect me, I go to the extent of letting you know I'm bothered, and it don't always come out right.
I mean, to the max. Goes to the max that he's bothered.
I'm working on it though. I'm a lot better.
Yeah. You come back in.
Well, what is your biggest successes about doing acting, Santosha?
When I won Best Drama Actress, that was just
beautiful.
It was a beautiful moment for me, because this Love and Drugs was my first movie with leading role.
Right.
Yeah. So just to be pulled in at the last minute, and the movie being so successful and winning Best Drama Actress, I would say is the biggest success for me.
Okay. What about you?
To me, honest, seeing my sister win, man. That moment solidified a lot of stuff for us as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how people really. This is what people have to understand is that when you really are about the bigger picture, then it ain't always about you. Because in that same award, I lost. But to see her walk on that stage, accept the award, and for the movie to get that recognition was a big
and you the first movie that you lead in. That's awesome.
Right. That's both our first as lead. We both have done a lot of background support. So yeah, for her to step up and do this, and I mean instantly, man, when everything and what people don't understand is she wasn't the original Tanya to this movie. That was a whole thing. The day before we were supposed to start filming, the original Tanya got really, really sick. I'm talking about sick, medically sick.
No voice sick.
No voice sick.
Oh wow.
You know from making films, money was already spent. Production day was
right.
ready to go. Didn't change that. And so I remember the producers calling me and was like, yo, I don't know what we're going to do. And so I had been conversing with the young lady, the tribe, but she couldn't, so we was texting. And big ups to her, man, because she said, whatever the movie has to do. This is bigger than me. And so much respect and love for her to this day for that. Mm-hmm. And so I reached out to her and was like, yo, sis, because we had just finished doing a run with a show where we were love interests. So I already knew from the script that we weren't going to have a problem with that. It was a matter of her, coming on and doing it. So when I asked, I didn't get really into the conversation, and she was like, yo, okay, all right, what? And I was like, yeah, but see, the thing is,
first of all, Wardell, let me tell you what he did to me.
Okay.
First, I'm not gonna tell him no, because he's my bro. Like whatever he needs me to do, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
But he played it so little, like, yeah, we need you for this part, for this. He didn't tell me that the whole damn movie was about me. I'm thinking I'm just coming in to just and he tricked me on this one.
Yeah. So I got on the phone with the producers. It was like, yeah, so you can do the movie? All right. Well, she was like, yeah, but my hair ain't done. He said, can you get it done today? She's like, yeah, I'm finna send you some money. Go get your hair done today. You report on set tomorrow. She said, excuse me, what? She's like, yeah, I'm gonna send you the script today. And she's just, I can imagine her face.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna play Tanya. I get the script. I'm getting my hair done. I'm kind of just looking, trying to learn my lines, and it's like Tanya. I was like, what? I was like, hold up.
But you didn't tell me this was the whole lead, bro. So I didn't know that really mattered.
They got me with that one.
Wow.
So I literally had to learn my lines.
The whole movie.
The set go. Like, this is okay. Now you guys are gonna do this part. So I had to learn them just then. Look over them, say it to myself, and then go into it.
For real.
Okay, so this is your first leading role in the film. You got called right when the movie getting ready to start. You had to learn your lines as it go. You award-winning actress, and you don't want to do interviews. Lord, help me.
Right.
I'm shy. I'm a shy person.
I
know you were gonna say that. I know you can't tell, but I'm just a shy person.
For real. Like, you seen her away from the cameras being off.
Right.
The life. You can't, if you say, the girl that was probably dancing here or doing this or saying this or talking loud here, you be like, oh yeah, I know her. But you take me off of this mix right here and you ask, she gonna go, you ask the question, what's your name? Santosha. Are you an actress? Yes, I am. That's it. Yo, she was doing an interview at one point on this show. I texted her like, you don't say something. That's all she did. She just sat there. They asked something, she answered, get on by the business.
I know.
But if you go back and look at the interview when I'm on the show with her, she goes completely left. She's all through the show talking.
Well, look, there you go. That you like that arm she needs to get it.
Yeah, it may be my comfort zone or something. Right. I don't know.
So what's been the best success for you during this time, Cory?
Man, honestly, I would say I've had some fun because I've had a chance to tour the country. I've had a chance to do reality TV.
Oh yeah, you toured the country with Gospel Grace. Don't forget to add that part in there.
Yeah, and I told Santosha this.
My
I'm
brother.
not a singer. I'm not a singer. I portray one all day. But something nobody ever be able to take away from me, man, is I actually have a song with the gospel legend, that Grammy Award winning gospel legend, Fred Hammond, because I just wrapped up a movie with him where I'm in a group with him. So when people see the movie, those vocals are actually my vocals. You know what I'm saying?
You
I went in the studio and recorded that.
Wardell, and you cannot
Yeah.
tell him nothing.
Right, because I tried to go on tour after
swear that he is an artist now.
I tried to book a tour and forgot I wasn't that dude.
I'm just like, no, you know that was by accident, right?
I called the Fox like, yeah, I'm gonna come there and set up this. So they like, who are you? Oh, y'all know me? Okay, I gotta go back here. So, but honestly, the success of love and drugs and the way that it has taken, because I'm gonna say this, Wardell. I'm gonna say this. It's not because of the success of what we do and what it's doing in our lives, but the effect that we've seen people, that it's had on people. Just a couple weeks ago, man, we shared a video chat with a young lady, and when I brought Santosha on the phone, she started crying.
That blew me away.
Yeah. And to find out that she was actually going through the same thing that the movie was talking about. She was a good girl, met a guy, and actually she had just finished going to court like 2 days prior to us talking to her.
Wow.
She caught the case behind him. And so those moments, and we've had a bunch of these moments where we've got on video chat.
Movie now. Give away the movie.
No. It was just no. I'm saying these in real life.
Right.
Movie in real life has transpired for people saying how it's touched their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they on and confessed and cried and really laughed and joked and just told us these stories that have really moved us. And we're like, if this what this moment's about, then I want to keep doing this.
Hey, man, I would say that movie got real deep. Like, I was like, yo, like, so I'm gonna just start off, like, I'm gonna ask this: why love and drugs? Why do y'all feel like this story needed to be told?
Well, initially it was because we wanted to bring light to our city. You know what I'm saying? Because where the writer and I are from is a small town called Tyler, Texas, in Texas, and that was the light. He actually had saw Plug Love and said, "Man, I'm going to run a movie, but it's going to have the theory of drugs, but it's going to be a love story based off sacrifice."
Okay.
Right? So the premise became behind it. We wanted to tell a story where it was more like this decision that had to be made, because loyalty, and we say in the movie, loyalty is not the most important thing. It's the only thing. So what does love do? It's sacrifice. So one of the common things that happen in our community we talk about is like a lot of drugs, right? Mm-hmm. But if you notice, my character was never, his premonition was never about that moment of drugs. It was about the loyalty to the people around it.
Right.
But Tanya needed to escape for him, and he had to figure out how he would please both ends, and sometimes loyalty is to a fault. So the story about the relationship that this story has to us in the world is sometimes we're not, because of who we love, sometimes it put us in a bad position of life, and we have to make some decisions. So now you have to figure out, what does love mean to you?
And you know what, to me, after watching the movie, it kind of makes you think about where you are in your life and what is most important to you. One of the things that I loved was the transition of, I'm trying to say this without like giving away the movie, but the transition of the role that you had, Cory, that transition in trying to, it was like you were one person. You had to be this person. You had to be a certain kind of way, but I don't think that really wasn't you. That really wasn't the life you really wanted to live. And a lot of times people go through stuff in their life and they don't know how to get out of situations. They don't know how to fix it, how to transition from it. And sometimes it takes one person to come into your life and make that change for you. And that's that strength you needed to make that change. So that's what I got out of that movie. It was awesome. I loved it. It just, I can relate to it wholeheartedly. Y'all did y'all thing, man. Y'all did y'all thing. So
we can't wait for you to see too.
2. Oh, y'all shooting part 2?
No,
Yeah.
2 is done. It comes out in October.
Yeah.
That's
Love and Drugs too. So Love, what you saw is out. You can talk about anything.
Right.
But
Oh.
Love and Drugs too, we're done
That's the
filming
secret.
it, and that's the secret.
Yeah, you see this?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Love and Drugs 2, The Sacrifice.
So the premiere is on the 22nd.
bang up a little bit more. So
Yeah. No.
Yeah. because I'm coming to see it, part 2. I will be in Dallas.
Yeah.
My ticket already booked. I am there. So,
Yeah.
so in shooting this movie, when y'all shot it, what about you that you had to go into yourself to get out to play that role, Cory? I'm gonna ask you first, because the role you had was a pretty deep role, and you had to be somebody who's, man, you was you was bad boy. You was a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So what did you have to tap into to become that character?
Well,
and
first,
who listening, because a lot of people don't understand the mentality of what an actor has to go through when they shoot a movie. So I want you to get a bit of that.
Yeah. So first, I had to understand what Mark's background was. You know,
Right.
what it created him to be who he was, and a lot of about Mark was his vulnerability. Just as you pointed out earlier, he wasn't necessarily a street dude, but because he was. Tonya was that the vulnerability for him, that he tried to do everything to create this image for her, right? Because especially after she said what she said to him, it really put in place that he had to respond. So now when he finds himself into this moment of how he has to build who he needs to be in order to get his attention, he becomes something totally different. His environment changed. Now, you know, you take where the person that raised him up from that point, now we gave him an identity that it wasn't him, but he identified with, because that was what he needed to do to get her, right? So what I had to go back and do is find out how to find that background and what was his purpose and how to transition into each moment. You know what I mean? And so I just really broke down a lot of things within that script and called some of my mentors and said, hey, when this happens, how should I do this? You know, so I really dug down, because even with part 2, that's what her and I went back and done. Mm-hmm. You know, it was some moments in part 2 that was like, yo, this has to stand out. So we actually went back to our mentor and teacher and did some sessions to really bring some moments out that we think people are really going to appreciate for us digging into that. So that's how that whole thing went.
Oh, nice. And Santosha,
well, I didn't do that, Wardell. You know, he got to prepare and get all polished and
you didn't have time to do all that, right?
You know what? Let me tell you how mine went. So I'm reading and I'm just like, okay, how mad am I? You want me like mad or real or mad? Oh, okay, I got it. Like that's how I had to do each scene. And then when at the premiere, when I watched it, I'm just like, dang, that happened. I was just like,
But
y'all had an intense little argument scene in there now.
We did.
You know what's crazy? We actually put that scene together. There was the point of the scene. He gave us 4 things to target.
Right.
And he said, I want y'all to target this. By the end, say this, and this. Get it together. They got to setting up. Her and I walked away. We was like, you say this? All right, you say this. All right, I say this. And you know,
it was not scripted at all.
That part was not scripted at all.
But so, I knew I had to be pissed.
Yeah.
I was,
okay.
Yeah.
Santosha. So now you done had the improv in there. You know what? I don't want to hear nothing about you not doing interviews no more, because you're going to need to do a lot.
I'm getting better.
You're going to need to do a lot of them. Because the movie was dope, man. And so, Santosha, when you did the film, like you say, you're a character. You know, you like to have fun and stuff. And now you this daughter of a pastor, of a preacher, and he about crooked himself. and then you fall in love with this guy, and you know, so how was all that for you to do? Because like you said, you got the script at the last minute, and now you have to switch into somebody totally different.
Right. You know, I'm glad that it was Cory that was Mark, because like I said, we have this dynamic, just comfort level with each A lot of people think that we are a real couple, so that's funny all the time. Yeah,
They did.
they think we are. So it was cool to go into a movie and having that kind of role and doing my first sex scene and argument. You know, he made me feel very, very comfortable because he knew that I was just out of there. I walked into the set and he was like in the middle of a sex scene with another girl, and I almost lost my mind.
She was under the steps. I found her under the steps, Wardell.
Yeah, I said, I'm not doing that. I was like, I can't do that.
She said, what is that? Well, they expected me to do that, bro? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. She's like, I'm not doing that. Like, for real, like, before the sex scene, before y'all, anybody watch the movie and see the sex scene, before she had a list of rules. When we got in the bed, she looked at me, she said, listen, don't stick your tongue in my mouth, don't look at my breath, keep your eyes here, all this. What else? Them folks said action, she boom, and bit me. I was like, yo, what was that?
It's just something about the word action. That means like you ready. So I could not, like, I was terrified.
How you give the man all these rules and stuff, and then when they say action, you go against all your rules?
It ate me completely up. Afterwards, I looked like I was the bad. What was that? What was that?
So my biggest fear is to be nervous about something, and then it shows. Right. So I know that I hate sex scenes, and I'm nervous about it. But then if I do it and it sucks, oh, I might as well just move. I might as well move out of town. Just stop doing it. Stop acting. I don't like it. So it's just when, you know, action, it's like, I know that I have to sell this scene. I have to sell this argument. I have to, you know, you have to sell it.
And she turned it on. She turned
it. And it was good. It wasn't even, it was a really good scene. Like, the scene was good. You know, the argument scene was good. Every scene y'all did look authentic and really good. So I can tell, anybody who watched the movie can tell, number one, y'all have a chemistry on set. That's just hands down. And I think that's the best thing when you do a movie like this, is when the two lead people have a chemistry, it's the stage for the whole movie. You know, so y'all did y'all thing on that part. Now, in shooting the movie, I saw that there was a lot of different aspects of it that I really liked. Like your partner, Cory, your road dog. He was quite an actor himself. You know, he did this, and then playing that role, like having him as a role, because there was one scene where y'all got real intense. Like he was in your face, like, yo, what you doing, man? Like, you know, like how did that make you feel as an actor? Because I know, and when you really into it and you just become that person and you have to play that part, you know, you get you can feel, you know, you have feelings behind that, you know, and I can tell in your face you have feelings behind that. So what in that scene made you, you know, brought that out of you?
Well, one, it was that guy right there. Kenny Gardner, for a lot of people who may not know, man, this guy's been on everything from General Hospital, NCIS, you name it. This guy rolled.
He's a bad dude.
He's been in some big stuff. And so when a guy like that walks on set, you know, and he's like the big dog, but he carries this aura like, yo, let's do this. Let's knock this out. And he was Cory the whole time. Even when they yell cut, he walks around the set still being Cory. Like, you asked him, hey, yo, Kenny, you want some water? What does he look like? You want some water? Huh? Let's get over here.
He really does.
Nah, he really does. So when those moments are happening, we get to prepare for it. Like, he's that in depth. So it makes you step your game up. Like, you can't come half stepping because he's finna go here. And if on screen, if you go here, then that's gonna look bad. So I knew I had to match him, man.
And Wardell, I think that he surprised Cory because during that little argument scene, he had no idea that he was finna get jacked up like that.
We ain't practiced the grab.
Yeah, so he got jacked up, and that's why his face was like.
I was asking that question because I could tell.
You know, I was like, you know, we playing, right? Like, I say this, you say this, and they like mad at each other.
We cool for real though, right?
Yeah, I was like, because you know after he said cut, he just walks off. It's like, hey, this really mad at me? I don't even know before we go to the next scene because he just walked off. He grabbed me. So no, that's just his thing, man. And he's just about that business. So he's levels up. So it makes you step your game up, man. You know what I mean?
How was the casting process for that? I mean, I know they had to pull in a lot of people, and I think everybody in the movie did a great job. You know, how was that casting for the roles?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of that was last minute because when the movie was originally casted out, there was a lot of pieces that wasn't there. Like the Eb character, Eb wasn't the original Eb. And we shot, there's another trailer out, right? And Eb came because the original Eb's schedule got conflicted. And so I was doing the Fred Hammond project and I knew Raquel from over there. So I brought her over here to do it just for the trailer. And the directors end up loving her and they kept her in the movie. So the process was more handpicked. Like the type of writer he is, he kind of writes for people. So he writes, he sees the people and he just go get them. Like most of the audition process he has is more for like, you know, fillers and extra roles and different things like that and one-liners. So for the most part, when he sees certain characters, except this, like when it came to me, her, and Eb and some things like that, it kind of was those things we fell into place because I wasn't even the original Mark. You know what I mean? So all of us kind of fell into place. Yeah. She just learned that the other day. You know, so I actually, two to me was they did a heck of a job for two because two, the casting
on that
is I can't wait. I can't wait.
You're gonna love it. I'm telling you.
Crazy.
You're gonna love two.
If one was like this, two gotta be off the chain, man. Because you know, a lot of people, and I believe it's gonna be good. You know, a lot of people they do one and then the second one, you're like, man, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We were afraid of that. We were afraid. We were just like,
when he hit us up, we was like, like we wanted it because it was like one was doing his thing. It's like, yo, man, we don't want this hype die down. And then it was more like, but what if this ain't as good? Again, when he sent the synopsis to us, we talked on the phone and we was like, yo. And so then he sent the script and we was like, yo. So we walked on the set. We walked on with our chest out and head up. And we was like, come on, cut, action. Do. We walked out. When they said the final cut, we looked and said, yo, this is it. This is that one for them.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you say that about part two, and one was like it was, that says a lot about the movie and the people who wrote it.
And we didn't feel that way about one, to be honest with you. If we just be honest, we were so scared of one. We were
really?
So scared of
yeah.
We were scared of one. Because
Cory's biggest problem with one, he's a little hyper child. He wants he think everything's supposed to be running and jumping over couches and running down the street and getting hit by cars and stuff. So we were too still in one. Yeah, he just felt like it was just not a lot of movement, you know. So he is like, I don't know.
I said I didn't know because like pretty much every scene that showed up, we were already in place. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of moving parts to it. So that meant that the storyline had to be one great and the acting had to be extraordinary to do this because there wasn't a lot of distractions in there.
Right.
Two, it happens more of the movement, but there's more confidence in the actors. There's more confidence in our relationship because we're married now. So you see that thing. And then the new pieces they put around us jump right in there and just grab the bull by the horn and just did this.
They really did.
So now I got the movement this time. And now the actors and actresses, they came in and just really grabbed it and jumped on the back of the thing and rolled out.
I can't wait to see it, man. I will be right there, front row and center, boy. Okay, so I got some fun questions for you. If you could act with any well-known actor that there is, actor or actress, who would you want to play opposite of?
Okay, so she my best friend in my head. She don't know we really best friends, but we best friends.
This would be funny.
She don't know that we best friends, but Taraji, I would love to do anything with her.
Right.
Like the girl. Yeah.
Yeah. He's real dope.
Yeah.
Cory?
Cory.
Mine's without a hand down would be Jamie Foxx.
Okay.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be.
he's awesome.
Me and Jamie.
Hey, he is a triple threat. That man,
Right.
he can do everything.
That's the thing that her and I've been talking about, because between now and because we both have a couple of films coming out, but we getting ready to do another one together called Switch, and we want to bring people back to our roots, which is comedy. And in the movie, we are married and we switched bodies for the day. So now we get to bring people back into that world with us, the comedy world where we started at.
That's gonna be funny.
I cannot wait to
it's
just
crazy.
be so silly.
It is. It's a great message.
Y'all get a couple of Hollywood.
Yeah, we divorced after this movie. Like,
They
no,
are together for real. They're gonna be like, yo, they gotta be together.
no, because what's crazy is we got that one. It's another one that's been on pause right now since Corona, and that we're doing. That's one of the shows that was on stage. They turned into a movie that we're on. So yeah, we got to take a break after these two movies.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a role, and what role that you haven't played that you would like to play? Like, if somebody called you right now and said, I got this role for you, the role that'll make you just be like, yeah, finally. What role would that be?
Ladies first.
Who y'all looking at each other like, you tell what, you know? I don't know.
I would love, so I have a few, Wardell. I would love to do a horror film.
Okay.
I would absolutely love to do like an action, like kick butt film. I would love to do that. And it was something else. But I'm getting ready to
most women want to beat somebody up. I don't know why they almost everyone.
I want to beat somebody up so bad. Like, I really.
She got a call about another movie, and I'll leave it nameless. And they talked about it being action. She went to training the next day. I saw on Facebook Live, she was running heels. I was like, yo, what are you doing? Yo, I'm about to fight in my next movie. Gotta get ready. I was like, what? No, you don't understand it. I'm gonna whoop somebody's butt. All right, you need to join me. Going. I was like, yo, okay, all right. So this is weird, all right?
Yeah. But I would love to, like, I feel like I get casted for like nice roles or pretty girl roles, or
You want
like,
to know? Yeah.
I want something so grimy. Like I want them to ugly me up. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
That's what I want.
Okay.
That's what I want. I feel like that's gonna really stretch me and show what I can really do.
Yeah.
Okay. Cory, what you got?
Action would be at the top, man, but really significantly, I would love to do a homeless character, because I want to strip myself of everything and become the most vulnerable person to find that thing deep inside, how to pull that moment off.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about Jamie Foxx and The Soloist, like, to tell a story from that perspective, where it's just about the story and the actor, it's like, man, that stuff is mind blowing. So I want a moment where I can be in a movie and we strip me of everything, and I just become the actor to sell somebody the point of that life. You know what I mean? I think we'll do that.
I feel you on that. I one of the movies I did called The Last Time Domestic Violence Film, which I've known all over Atlanta. People wanted to beat me up so bad after I did that movie. Like, literally, people were wanting to fight me. And I had to, people always ask me, like, yo, man, what did you do to get into that role? Because I was awful. I was an awful person. Like, you've seen domestic violence films. I was a little bit above the average domestic violence, situation.
Right.
And it was, I felt good because I got booed. When we did the premiere, everybody booed me. I got booed. I was so happy because I was so awful. I was like, if you didn't boo me, I would be pissed.
Right.
I said, yes. Everybody just busted out laughing because I didn't want to be, what I mean?
Facts.
And then people, like, women wouldn't come near me and stuff. So, when people ask me, why did you do a role like that? Well, man, I said, I wanted to do it. Like I wanted to do something totally opposite of who I was. You know, I wanted to be something that I wasn't. I wanted to dig deep within myself and try to pull something out that I never had to, you know what I mean? And it's a testament of who you are as an actor. It's a testament of how far you've come. So I get exactly everything y'all are saying. That matters a whole lot when it comes to the film industry. So do y'all feel like the industry has changed from, well, most y'all just really getting into it, but in the process of seeing what's going on, do you feel like the industry is changing, getting better, or do you feel like it's getting harder? Because, and I want to narrow that down some. For some women, for some Black women, they say it's really hard, you know, and because of because they're judged so many times, and they always want women, especially if they're pretty, to take the clothes off, you know, things like that. I can't countless number of things, you know, for Santosha and for Cory, you know, for us as men, as dark-skinned brothers and stuff like that, people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? This is you know, it's a challenge to get in deep. But then when Black Panther came, it kind of changed the scope of the whole movie industry. You know, and now the number one thing people want is Black sitcoms, and Black TV shows. And when you go to anywhere, that's what they're seeking. So to you guys, what do you see a change in the industry, and how is it? Do you think it's better, or do you think it's harder?
I honestly think this, because and I'm glad you used the Black Panther scenario, because if we're really looking into it, Black Panther grossed what, 100 million? No,
yeah,
close to 100, little over 100 million. So,
right.
So it was, until the last Avengers came, it was the highest grossing film from over there, right? But if we dig deep down inside, Jack Nicole only made $4 million off that movie. You know what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan only made $1.4 million off that movie. So I think the true change is coming when you do what Tyler Perry has done, and now you own the landscape of the field to change it and give the jobs now. Because I think now when you think of, there's not a Black woman that's making $1 million in a movie. Right.
Yeah, that's been the talk of the town for a long time.
Right. And so I think because when you could turn around and Sandra Bullock, and you know, I definitely love her, but Sandra Bullock can easily get $10 million. Like it's nothing.
Right.
And then, you know, Taraji P. Henson will walk under the bus if he just go pound for pound acting, you know. But when it comes to the scope of viewing, they just don't view our movies as credible enough to sustain financially on a universal stand.
So glad you brought that up.
Right. So what Tyler Perry's doing, I think, is putting us in direction to now fight for that thing. And now when you see a Black Panther, you have to question, if it wasn't from the comics, would it do that? But if that's that thing, then we need to keep moving from that. You know what I'm saying? Keep on going. Because right now you still have to go through a Tyler Perry to even pull a movie off like that. Because remember, we shot in his studio. You know what I mean? If we start owning the landscape of the masses of this, then we can now start producing the economic factor of it. You know what I mean? And that's what I talked to her a lot about. Like, this is good that we're finding success in this, but what are we going to do to change the financial situation of it? We have to own that moment. Now that our faces everywhere, we have to own going into owning those lanes, and then putting ourselves in position to come back and produce that lane for it to get other people to eat from it. And that's what we have to do.
Preach.
Don't ask me, because I can't come after that. I can't come behind all that, so don't even ask me that question.
He hit the nail on the head.
He took, we're married, and so he answered that question for the both of us.
Well, that right there, what you said was, it touched home, because we see this all the time. You know, we hear it. We hear women fighting for their right to get paid more money. You know, it's a constant battle over and over again. That's why Hollywood don't care for Tyler Perry that much. You know what I mean? Because he made his he paved his own way. And a lot of us, if we follow his example, we can all do the same thing and make the same money and feed ourselves. So I appreciate you saying that. On that note, our show is almost over. I've been enjoying you guys. I want you guys, if you could give one tad bit of advice to anybody who's listening and who wants to be an actor, who dreams of, you know, being in a movie or anything, what bit of advice you can give them for those who are trying to get into this business? Just a little word or a little quote or anything.
I would say just stay focused. Don't give up. You know, definitely network. It's hard, but you just can't give up. If this is that thing that you really want to do, you know, the thing that I hate is auditioning, but go on those auditions. Get your face out there, be seen, but just stay focused and stay dedicated to what you want to do.
Okay.
Cool. Something will shake for you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Cory?
Educate yourselves on why the no happens. There's gonna be a lot of no, but educate yourself on why the no happens, and then you know better. You better prepare yourself to go back into that situation for the yes. And if it's still a no, find out why. Go work on it. And that, you know, that's the thing we structure ourselves around. And I say that because even with people saying, "Hey, we really love this movie," part one, we weren't satisfied with that. All right, if they did, let's go back and find out what we did and didn't do in part one, and let's elevate that to part two. And so once you educate yourself on the no, you'll make a better preparation for when the yes comes. You'll walk into that moment and own it.
That's cool, Cory.
Man, you're a motivational speaker for real. I see it in you.
You don't know what you just did to his head, right? He's gonna walk around here like, you heard what he said. I'm a motivational speaker.
You know what, man? I can't wait to get out there because y'all are clowns, man.
Yo, like you have to come out early. Don't come out like late. Come out early, man, so we can hang out and do some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be there early. I'm gonna be there Friday, I think. I'm gonna get there Friday.
Cool. Yo, don't when you get down Friday, man, just hit us up, man. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna do something. You know what I mean?
There ain't no doubt. I definitely do that. Man, it was great meeting you guys. You know, I met you, man. Great meeting you, Cory, man. I look forward to meeting you when I get out there. Give both of you, I'm gonna let you go first, Santosha. Let people know how they can find you, your social media, email address, things.
Okay. Well, I'm Santosha Nicole on Facebook. What am I on Instagram? You know, they teased me because my Instagram was like Nurse Goodbody because I'm a nurse by day.
Okay.
And so I changed it. So I'm Santosha Nicole on Facebook. And
okay. I'm not even gonna ask.
Don't ask. You'll have to add another hour to your show. No, but it's Santosha Nicole on Facebook and IG. And then we have I Am Mark and Tanya page on IG.
Right. Yep. See
Mark
that.
with a C, MARC, and Tanya.
All right, Cory.
You can find me at Cory Espie on Facebook. I am Cory Espie on Instagram. My website is I am Cory Espie. If for booking information, go to DaleBailey.com. You can book there and get all the information you need. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Don't try to call me now, right?
Call the cell phone.
Yeah. Hey, who is it? You gave it out on the interview. You said call you. I was like, oh, my bad.
Man, look, this was great. I appreciate y'all taking the time out to come on the show. Y'all are awesome, man. I cannot wait to meet y'all. And I want to anybody who is watching right now, please, if you're in Dallas, go out and check out the premiere. These two are hilarious. You seen them right now. You got to see them on screen. They sizzle it. They are the bomb. So if you miss it, missing something good. I'm telling you, don't wait to go out. Wait till it come out on Amazon and all that. Go see them live and meet them face to face. You know what I mean? So I will be in the building in Dallas. I can't wait. You know, what's that? 2 weeks from now, I think it is.
Right.
A couple weeks from now. So I look forward to being out there checking y'all out. That is the end of our show. My name is Wardell Richardson. You can make sure you go follow us on social media, WCEG_talk_radio and WCEG Network. After this live show on Facebook, make sure you go and watch the show again on YouTube on the WCEG Network. It will be there. Talk to you later, and we out. Peace.